Okay, guys, we got a lot of free stuff today for April Fool's Day. Initially, I thought we were gonna get a April Fool's unit here for Devon Black as the pirate kid, but you actually get a Super Sugo Fest legend for completing these panel missions, not a jank free-to-play character. So make sure that you complete these missions, which is gonna require you to clear a quest 5 times, power up a character as well as their special level up, and then you also need to change your home screen to one time, and then you'll complete these missions. It's very easy. You can get it done in like 10 minutes, but make sure that you go into the panel missions here and click on the character right here. This will allow you to get the free Super Sugo kid. Besides that, we also have the Super Uso Fest, which you cannot miss because you do get a free limited pool legend, which I got Katarina Devon, the only character in the regular pool that I'm missing. So very lucky on that. You can get a new character very easily on that 11th poster. Also, if you get a legend in the middle, which is a 5% legend rate, it's base legend rate, I checked. If you get a legend, it's guaranteed to be an Usopp legend, and the chances of you getting Usopp and Lilith or treasure map legend Usopp are very high compared to other Usopp legends, in which case you can get your hands on a top tier legend, Usopp and Lilith. We know by now this guy, and I guess Lilith as well, is a top 5 regular legend in the game. You need this character, useful in almost every game mode, in Pirate Rumble, in Kizuna, PKA. They just have such a versatile special. They provide so much damage, provide irreplaceable utility as well. So make sure you do that multi. Not only do you get a limited pool legend in the middle, which I think is everywhere from Doflamingo and Sugar up until the Nami Vivi and Boa sisters legends, everything up until there, and I think Emmett as well, you can get on the 11th poster. So definitely do that free multi, only today available. You have very little time left, so make sure you go do that. But for the panel missions, you do get your hand on this free legend kid. This guy, I think he's like one of the most underrated legends in the game. Most people didn't even realize this, but he actually got a level limit break buff like quite some time ago, probably like over a year ago already. But he does become a decent amount better with his level limit break. So even if you just have one copy of him, this will help him. He used to be a great DPS in Pirate Rumble. Unfortunately, he kind of fell off. So if you already had one duping kid, you could already get his upgraded special and also Rumble ability. So with that second dupe, his special will be tag requirements introduced. If you have 3 or more kid pirates or worse generation, so any Luffy or Zoro would count towards that. I think Blackbeard as well. If they're on the crew, boost the effect value of the activation by 0.5. So if your crew's HP is at 51% or above when the special is launched, cuts crew's HP by 50% of its maximum. So no matter what, you're guaranteed to not die from this because it won't activate if you're below 51% HP. It will also then do 100 times his attack in damage to the enemy. It'll charge his special back up to maximum so you can use his special a second time. And then it'll also give you a 2.75x attack boost for strength, striker, and driven characters. And then if you have an attack boost when you use the special, so you're at least getting 2 activations with this guy if you're above 51% HP, meaning you'll get both a 2.75x attack and or boost for those classes and type. And then if you have an attack boost or boost both at the same time, you also get a 2.5x color affinity. There are ways you can set this up. If you have 100% health and then you use the special for the first time, it'll get your HP below exactly to 50%. And then you can use a special or a swap effect that heals you just a teeny bit. And then you can use the special again and it will charge once again because you'll be above 50% for that second activation as well. So if you set it up properly, also you could use overheal. If you have 200% HP thanks to the overheal mechanic, it will still only take a quarter of your health because you have that overheal HP. So there are a lot of ways to do this where you can actually activate this guy's special multiple times and get an attack boost or boost and color affinity. Of course, there aren't any utilities here, but at the end of the day, if you have those 3 tags, which will include himself, so you only need 2 other worst generation characters. Then also Killer would also be a decent character to run alongside him. Then you'll get 3.25x attack and all boost and 3x color affinity, because that effect increases by 0.5 for the attack, all boost, and color affinity. So definitely a very powerful character. Not so much for endgame players, but especially if you haven't cleared all the content where there's no normal attacks only, you can actually abuse this using a zombie type team setup to actually get this guy special activated 6 times every turn, where you can actually just wave clear and kill enemies that have millions of HP thanks to that damage dealing AoE damage in his special. So if you use the special alongside the Rocketman ship or the Kuja pirate ship, then you can get to about a very ridiculously low HP amount, like 100 HP. And you use the special once, you get to 50 HP. Then you bring a bunch of dual units that have swap effects that heal you very slightly. And then each time you do a swap effect, you can use the special again and again and again. And remember, every turn you can activate those switch effects. So with that, you can do some really insane things. Of course, you could bring alongside him someone like Hannibal as a captain, which will prevent the enemy from killing you. Of course, there's a lot of different things you have to consider there. If you are using a zombie captain, if there's more than one enemy, it will still kill you through the zombie effect. So I'll actually link a video in the comments I made like years ago, a GOP Challenge 15 team that just uses the wave clear from kids' specials. It's definitely one of the most creative and fun teams I've ever made. And I mean, everyone was quite surprised by it. So this kid can be very fun to own, as well as be quite powerful, especially if you already have dupes in him. And of course, if you don't have him, still a great option even without the level limit break. But how does his captain effect change if you do get to level limit break 3? It becomes a 1 cooldown reduction for all characters, which didn't exist previously. He reduces his own cooldown by 4 turns, previously only 3 turns. So he's giving himself 5 cooldown. And then Strength Striker Driven, get 5x, 1.3x HP, 6x attack when their HP is 50% or below. Very easy with his special. So 6x is quite good. And then also gives you a 25% damage reduction. Now, remember, if you are running double kid, it doesn't add up like 50%. It's actually more of a multiplicative effect. So whatever damage you were taking gets reduced by 25. And then after that damage reduction effect, that amount of damage will get reduced by 25% again. So it's more like a 32% damage reduction if you're running double kid. A lot of people got confused with this, kind of similar with the Fire Tank Pirates legend, the Kizuna legend, because he has massive damage reduction, and people thought if you run double Capone, then you'd have essentially damage nullification, but that's not how it works. It is not that easy. Regardless, that is a massive damage reduction effect, but it did exist prior to the level limit break. Of course, you don't have that restriction of no, you still have to be below 50% HP. And then make strength and int characters, orbs count as matching. And then if you have 4 more Kid Pirates, Worst Generation, or Land of Wonder tags, you get 10 turns of Despair reduction and a 500 base attack boost to Paramithia type tag characters. So a lot of characters are getting that 500 base attack in addition to a 6x attack boost captain. So his multipliers, this guy could be really good in Super Boss. Just in regular Kizuna. I wouldn't say you bring him to Super Boss. He's not providing much other utility. The Despair reduction is great. Definitely a massive upgrade from his initial captain ability, which I would say is kind of unusable. But yeah, he becomes a really good character as a captain when you have that level limit break 3. And luckily, I don't think you don't need level limit break 5. He gets no benefits to his regular kit after level limit break 3. Because for regular legends, usually the special would only get upgraded once you completely max the character out. But definitely make sure you pick up your copy of Kid. Make sure you do your limited pool free multi for the Super Uso Fest. Get your hands on characters like Support Sugo Usopp. This character is a decent unit to use alongside Nika Bonnie. Let me just quickly see if I can find him. But he is available. I did pull him on my alt account. So there's a lot of different good Usopps you can get besides the legends. But if your supported character uses a special to delay the enemy, gives you a full board of block orbs, but you will heal 5% of your maximum HP, lock slots for a turn, which is super valuable, and then also give you a chain multiplicative buff of 2 turns, 1.2x. So a lot of situations, block orbs is actually really good to get. It's the only support in the game that gives you block orbs. I've actually used this effect to my advantage in the previous PKA because I did max out the Megalo ship. This is a ship you use with sign-in characters. So you run Nika Bonnie. Of course, they do delay the enemy through immunities. You put that Usopp support on them, and then you give yourself a full board of block orbs. Then the Megalo ship will change those block orbs into rainbow orbs, which can't be changed by the enemy, and will also lock them by 2 turns. So this is a very interesting way to use this to actually get around super block orbs, any type of really annoying orb like paralysis orbs or poison orbs. You can use that Usopp support on Nika Bonnie plus the Megalo ship to get some insane orb mechanics. So I highly recommend doing the multi, not just for the legends, but also getting these kind of characters like support Usopp. You can also get the Pirate Rumble or Rare Recruit Usopp, which is not a very good character, but if you don't have a lot of good characters for Pirate Rumble, then he's definitely an option. This is Foam Red Usopp. I actually can't remember what he does. All I remember is that he's kind of mediocre. He does have level limit break buffs, so getting him maxed would be pretty nice. But he is a support style character. Target teammates within medium range for critical percent up, level 7 for 20 seconds. Attack up, level 7. 2 teammates with low CT gets 30% reduction. That's pretty good. And then 2 enemies with high attack for attack down of level 10 for 15 seconds. He has kind of a high CT, but that's fine. He is only shooter based though, so he's not going on int teams, he's going on shooter teams. The problem is you have other characters going on your shooter teams that are Usopps. So I mean, he's really not a great option, but if you don't have characters like Usopp and Lilith, you can definitely try and get him. But that's the main 2 Usopps I would look out for, besides Usopp Lilith and Treasure Map Legend Usopp, if you do end up getting a legend from that 5%. The limited pool, as I said, is every legend from Dofi and Sugar up until Emmett, I'm pretty sure. So definitely make sure you do these missions today. You get a free Super Sugo, you get a free shot, a very good shot at Usopp and Lilith, as well as Treasure Map Legend Usopp. If you don't have Usopp and Lilith, you are going to be suffering in Treasure Cruise. So make sure you do that multi, finish the panel missions. Make sure you actually click on the panel mission to get your free copy of Legend Super Sugo Kid. But with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe and share. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. And I'm out.